Don't say anything. Okay, hi. So I'm back, and I'm doing a book review on Fever, which is the second book of Wither by Laura DeStefano. And this time I have a book to show you. So basically, I finished reading it last night, so it's fresh in my head on my thoughts about it. Um, I want to start off by saying that I was a bit annoyed because it's like you just escaped one horrible thing, and then as soon as you escape it, you jump right back into something else that was horrible. And I was just kind of like, well, what is this? Like, I don't know. I just think she was trying to like make up too many horrible circumstances and stuff like that. I was really looking forward to them, walking through the town. I don't know, just doing something else other than sitting there and getting captured. But it wasn't until later on during the book that I realized, well, it is some purpose to this. She was basically trying to make us see more of this dystopian time and what's going on around these times and periods. Um, Trying to introduce other situations that happened aside from being a child bride. Perhaps that was the reason for it, yeah. Um, and another thing that I didn't really like was Gabriel. I mean, I tried so hard to like understand the character because I'm on Team Gabriel simply for the fact that Lyndon has a wife and kids, and I'm like, this completely is ridiculous to me. How is he even gonna really be a contender? He can't just up and leave Sicily because what is Sicily gonna do? You know? And I was like, he already has this whole life over there. I mean, when I say 2 kids, Cicely says she's gonna have another one. So, yeah, so that's honestly the sole reason why I gravitate towards Gabriel, even though personality-wise, it's difficult not to root for Lyndon. But anyways, Gabriel, people were saying he was completely dry in this book. He wasn't completely dry. I mean, there are some things that we didn't learn about his background, but we learned about his reaction to things, his thoughts about things, and how much he would stand up when something was wrong and to protect Ryan. We basically got to know that, okay, he thinks that she's kind of stupid for leaving, but at the same time respects her decision and will follow her until the very end, even though he found it very stupid. So I think we learned about his characterization, who he is, in a sense of learning about his past. We got to see his reactions to things. So I will defend that, we did get to learn more about him because in Wither, he couldn't really be around and he couldn't really say or do much of anything because all he was a servant. So now he's a free man. So, we got to see what he would do with his freedom, and I like how they didn't completely make him like take charge. How is he supposed to take charge? He hasn't been outside since he was 9 years old. So how is he supposed to know what to do and stuff like that? So in a sense, him being the way he was did kind of make sense with his character. So I'm not gonna, but at the same time, I don't really feel like the scenes of the simple touching this and that. It really made my heart skip a beat because it didn't really like feel that romantic to me. So I was like, you know what? This second book was basically your time to shine. Why didn't you? Is more of the question. Rowan, he was not there, but he was there, and that was great. I mean, I enjoyed him a lot because we got to learn that he's kind of psychotic, overly protective, overly bearing, and it was great. I cannot wait till the third book just to meet him and see how his reaction is when he sees his sister again. That's going to be completely fun. Vaughn. He's painted as the villain. Um, I find this, kind of like I like this type of villain. I mean, he's not really evil. I really don't believe he is. He's just trying to look for the greater good, trying to look out for his son because he's like, I have to find a cure. I have to save this one, and at all means possible. So, I mean, I don't really feel like he's evil, but of course, the things that he's doing isn't exactly the nicest things ever. So, I always like mean characters where they have more than one development, more than one covering, you know, and that's him, and he was great, you know. Um, what else would I like to address? all in all, when they, took that pit stop and basically stopped at that orphanage and stayed there for a while and just like, I understand. She's going through the motions. It was a really long time before anything significant happened. And my only advice would be that that period didn't have to be stretched out that long. You could have summed it up a little bit sooner so you can put a little bit more interesting things happening. Because honestly, as soon as she went to her house and found out that her brother wasn't there, I put the book down and was like, I really don't feel like reading this because there's nowhere to really go from here now. Because I was mostly excited to meet Rowan, and there's no Rowan. What are you gonna do except pass away like 5 chapters of you just sitting around in the orphanage? I mean, I enjoyed getting to know Claire Silas or whatever that boy's name was at the orphanage. I enjoyed getting to know them, but I just feel like I scratch that. I just feel like her getting the entire premise in general, I didn't really like it for the second book. I didn't really like her having to get captured again, literally right after she got out of captivity. I just feel like it could have been handled differently and at the same time expressed the other dangers. Or they could have had these dangers happen, but not take up so many chapters. So therefore, you feel like, out of a 340-page book, you got a lot of stuff in, you got a lot of stuff done. I didn't feel true excitement until Lyndon came back into the picture, to be perfectly honest. And that's kind of annoying because I don't want to root for Lyndon, but for some weird reason, the angst behind what's happened and what's going on kind of intrigues me. I want to know how he's going to take it and stuff like that. And I can't wait until he gets to learn more about her, the real her, and learns the story and accepts the story. How is he going to react to it? I can't wait. That's, Laura, this is the first time, honestly speaking, I wouldn't really care who she ended up with, because I wanted to root for Gabriel, but my reasons for wanting to root for him is simply because Lyndon is the default. I mean, all the plural marriage, he keeps bringing up Rose time and time again. And can you guys please put in your comments and tell me what do you feel about the fact that he keeps bringing up Rose, saying, "Oh, I loved Rose," and I'm like, ugh, dude, I actually like your personality, even though it's kind of doesn't have a backbone. I find you interesting. I find you more interesting than the other one. So, the fact that he keeps comparing Rose and talking about how he and Cicely, he loves all of them differently, and it's like, I don't like that. It's very annoying to me. So just tell me how you feel. I mean, do you feel like he could ever love Ryan more than he loves Rose? I'm just waiting for him to be like, no, it's you. It's always been you. It's just that Rose, I met her first and blah, blah, blah. She was great, but it's you. It's you. I can't live without you. If he would say that and somehow the two kids would disappear, then I would actually be happy. But aside from that, this is the first time I'm reading a book with two characters who I don't hate them, but I honestly could care less who she ends up with. I'm not fighting on any side. I'm just sitting there going, whatever. So all in all, I'll rate the book like a B minus, C plus-ish. But I liked it. It was decent. How about that? I didn't hate it, but I wasn't gung-ho about it. I feel like it was good enough to make me want to continue on and know what happens. So subscribe. I'll see you later. I'll be back with more book reviews, more covers of songs and original songs. So put it down in the comments. Okay, see you later.